So I would say, trust yourself, trust your surgeon, and get it done, because you will not regret it. I don't regret it for a second. So my name is Wendy and I live in Leeds, in Morley, just outside Leeds. I'm a key account manager for a professional hygiene company, so I drive around the country all the day. I'm a sales rep, really. I'm married and I have a beautiful little pug dog who is my world. Well, I'd started to train for the Blenheim Triathlon with my team at work, so I was doing the 5K run, and I was getting up, and as soon as I was getting near that 5K, I had to stop. I just couldn't do it, so I had to pull out of it. So I was quite devastated about that. I also figure skate. I stopped figure skating. So I stopped doing the things that were active that I enjoyed doing. Even walking the dog, she was going for much shorter walks. It's frustrating because I felt older than I felt, if that makes sense. I felt like my body was thinking I was in my 60s rather than my early 50s. So like most people, your first thing would be you'd go to your GP. I went to the GP. They acknowledged there was something wrong with probably both my knees, but that I was too young to have anything done. So they basically told me to go away and come back in 10 years. And that really wasn't good enough for me because I didn't want to spend the next 10 years not doing the things that I love. So fortunately I have private medical coverage through work. So I reached out to them and I did physio first, and it worked a little bit, but it didn't resolve it. And then I came and had some steroid injections in the knees. And again, it worked for a little while, but it was never going to be a long-term solution. So that's when we made the decision to actually do the surgery. Because I thought it was really sensible to have done some research into which consultants were in the local area, because I didn't want to have surgery potentially and then have to travel for hours home. So I checked on a couple of websites. I looked at reviews of surgeons in the areas. And that's why I came across James. And I read all the reviews and patient feedback, and it was a natural fit for me. Good track record, somebody I could trust, and somebody who was more interested in my recovery and doing the right procedure, rather than necessarily just getting a number ticked off. So my feeling about having the patellofemoral replacement rather than a full knee replacement was that I trusted James. So I spent the first 2 days in bed when I got home, just icing my knee to make sure that there was no swelling or anything like that. But by the weekend, so I think my surgery was the Monday or the Tuesday, by the weekend I was back to walking the dog in the garden and throwing the ball for her. And I was back to driving about 3 weeks later. The range of movement in my knee is absolutely perfect. People do not know that I've had anything done to my knees. And I think the first sign that they ever know something's been done is if I'm wearing shorts and they see my very tiny scars, which are very minimal, I hasten to add. So people are very surprised that I have had anything done. I forget myself. My activity has soared through the roof. I've lost almost 2 stone in weight, which is an absolute delight to me because my activity's getting back to where it should be. I'm back figure skating, and I have just started jogging gently. So if I think back to the GP and the original conversations I had about the pain that I had, my advice to anybody would be stick to your guns. You know your body better than anybody else does, but find somebody that you trust. James has, and I can't understate it, given me my life back. My mobility has changed, my weight has changed, my attitude has changed. I'm back to being much more happy and carefree and spontaneous. I think I'd stopped being spontaneous. I wouldn't have planned to do a girly shopping trip for the weekend, because I would have been the one dragging behind and stopping for coffee every half an hour. That no longer happens. I'm now happy to plough onto the wine bars. And that's me being back to me.